Alright, today I'm going to show you how to subtract a mixed number or mixed fraction from a whole number. Now when I look at this question where I have 4 minus 1 and 1/2, I think of it as I have something like 4 cookies and I want to give away 1 and 1/2 cookies. Now there's a couple ways we can do this. The first way is I can take all these cookies and divide them into halves. Now if I do that, instead of having 4 whole cookies, when I divide these cookies up, I will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 half cookies. Now, in terms of the numeric approach, we would say instead of having 4 over 1 minus 1 and 1/2, and we'll rewrite this 1 and 1/2 in terms of what we call an improper fraction, so this will become 3 halves. The 4 wholes, since I've divided each whole into 2 parts, multiply top and bottom by 2, I get 8 halves. So 8 halves take away 3 halves will give me 5 halves. So I take away 1, 2, 3, and I'm left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 halves. Now, rewriting that as a mixed fraction, well, the 5 halves really make up 2 wholes and then 1 other half. So that's one way of doing that. A second way of doing that is instead of dividing up all 4 cookies, I just am going to divide up one of the cookies. So I will still have 3 whole cookies, but then the one that I split up is I have 2 out of the 2 pieces. And I still want to subtract 1 and 1/2. So what that means is if I want to give this away, I want to give away 1 whole cookie. So I'm going to do that. And then I want to give away 1 of the 2 pieces. So if I give that away, what am I left with? Well, 3 wholes minus 1 whole cookie gives me 2 whole cookies left. And out of the pieces, the one that I split into pieces, I had 2 of the pieces. I gave 1 of the pieces away. I'm left with 1 out of the 2 pieces. So that's a second way of doing it. The advantage of this way is that, especially when the denominator becomes rather large, the numbers here are easier to work with. And the idea is we just borrow enough from the wholes that we have enough pieces that I can give away the piece that I have. So if I go to a little more complicated question, where I have 9 minus 4 and 5/8, well, the approach I would take is instead of splitting all 9 of these cookies up into 8 pieces, which we could do, instead I'm going to just split one of them. So I'm going to take this cookie and I'm going to split it into 8 pieces. So there's 4, 8 pieces, roughly equal pieces. So now I have, instead of 9 whole cookies, I've got 8 whole cookies, and then 8 out of 8 pieces of cookies. Now, it turns out if I was to put these 8/8ths back together, they really still make a whole, or 9 cookies. But if I think of it this way, then I think of I'm going to subtract the whole cookies, and I'm going to subtract the parts of the cookie, or the pieces of the cookie. So I have 8 whole cookies. I want to take away 4 of them. So if I take away 4 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm left with 1, 2, 3, 4 whole cookies still. And now out of these pieces, I want to give away 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm left with 3 out of the 8 pieces. So that's how I might approach a question like this, especially when the denominator gets rather large.